Wake your ass up
or take a damn nap.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
It's time.
Sean, you were twerking. That's going to happen.
Murph, don't be a dick all your life.
It's one of the more fun podcasts I've ever done.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're not talking about sports in the man cave, I bet not say you not a man.
That's it.
Hey, this is a guy that we had probably talked about doing this for about, I don't know it. I think the idea came about 9-10 months ago. We talked about it again. You saw him on National Signing Day. Jake Williford, a product of Anderson High School here in Anderson. First off, I've got to ask you, did you recognize a voice in that open?
I didn't.
Coach Mo.
Yeah. I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to be wrong. So there you go.
Well, Jake Williford has a great story. Really, the story behind him is he really marketed himself, created his own brand, and parlayed it into an opportunity to play Division I college football. And before we get going, I have to give a shout out to, you see the name on the top, Jim Saxton, State Farm Insurance Agency. He's an ATX OG, Westlake Chaparral for life, former Longhorn quarterback, defensive back. His dad, he's a Longhorn legacy. His dad was a Heisman finalist for Texas, the late James Saxton. But he's been insuring Austin for quite a few, I'd say 3 decades now, just aged, Jimmy. But give him a shout for homeowners, auto, whatever you want. Jimmy's there for you. So for Jake, he's a deep snapper, an old lineman. And I've got to ask you, Jake, I guess we'll call it the deep snapping journey. And when did you really start thinking about, wait, I want to be a deep snapper?
Man, so, okay. Ever up until junior year, it was all O-line for me. And I was I'm pretty undersized for an offensive lineman. I mean, I'm a big guy, but it's hard to be an undersized offensive lineman to go play at the next level. So we had a long snapper graduate whenever I was a junior, and over the summer I was like, it wouldn't hurt to just learn it. Yeah, nobody at Anderson can do it right now, so might as well step up and take some responsibility on. So not really until junior year. It's really just kind of all came into place this year.
Now, I want to show a piece of video, if we can pull this up, because I want to see so people can get an idea. There's a lot of work that goes into this.
Oh, absolutely.
When you finally determine, all right, that's a specialty position and a critical one, because you could either be deep snapping to a punter, for the 3 people that are involved in kicking, field goal. I mean, a lot can go wrong. A lot can.
Yes, sir.
How many, if you were to estimate between the time of your junior season at Anderson High School in Austin to now, how many times do you think you've snapped the ball?
I mean, millions. Like, I genuinely cannot give you, because I'll go out there, each snap is about 0.7 of a second.
Right.
I'll go out there for an hour and a half and snap, and that's all I'll do. Snap, snap, snap. Competitions, practice, games. It's got to be millions. It's got to be millions.
So you feel you got a good feel for it. So I've seen it done one-handed. I've seen the spin. How do you do it? What's the idea of snapping?
So, you got your 2-hand snap. You let your centers do the 1-hand snap. Long snappers, you got to go 2 hands. You put your pointer finger down the line right there, and then just hold it like you're about to throw it, and then just quick hands down the middle, baby. That's all we do. But it's such a technical thing. Yeah. Like it sounds easy whenever I'm saying it, but it's like a baseball swing. You just gotta rep it out, and then every once in a while it'll start coming naturally. So.
Well, I'm going to remove this graphic so we can kind of see right here. So this was kind of your recruiting profile. There was a Coles deep snapping competition, and I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, number 72 ranked snapper in the country. In that competition right there, when you first entered that, how did that change you? How did your perspective change?
Well, before I was even ranked, I went to a competition and I was totally unranked, did not get ranked at all. And that really made me take a step back and say, okay, this is how I got to compete. This is the level I got to be at. And up until the end of the football season, I just grinded. And then as soon as the football season ended, got re-ranked. 72 in the nation, number 9 in the state. So, competition really just put me up against everybody else and said, okay, this is the level. I mean, I snapped against like people are signed to Alabama, A&M, like you can think of all the big schools. I've probably snapped against one of their snappers. And so you just got to compete. You got to get better every day. So that's what I was going for there.
So in the middle there, who's the guy with you in the middle?
That's the national guy for long snapping for Coles, Casey Casper.
Yeah.
He works with all the snappers in the competition, stuff like that. Coles was definitely a good way for me to get ranked. As we'll get to later with some self-marketing, that's a big thing to be able to put on the resume right there is your ranking. So yes, sir.
So, so Jake and his family, they live in, it was Northwest Austin. I guess it still is. Austin's grown so much, but, those are the O-line, your boys forever from Anderson High School. Your O-line coach.
Yeah, I've played with them since, oh my gosh, 7th grade. Those are my boys right there. And in the middle is Coach Z, who out of all the coaches that I've had signing, getting it to be where I am right now, that's all him. So those are some of the people that are closest to me for some football.
Is there anyone in that picture that has a story that rather comical that maybe you'd like to share with the masses?
Oh man, they all got stuff to say, but our big joke is between all of us is we all love Wingstop, which is maybe the most O-line restaurant you can love.
Absolutely, it is.
Absolutely, yeah. Our very first time meeting Coach Z, he came in our senior year, and he texted the group chat. He's like, "Hey, look, guys, I'm willing to take you all out to dinner. I want to get to know y'all, stuff like that." He said, pick any restaurant. You look at some of the nice restaurants in the Austin area. No, we don't want any of that. We want Wingstop. So that's where we ended up at.
And that's bonding right there. I mean, you guys have been through so much change in a short period of time. And then Donald Hatcher came in and this staff right here. And, you guys had a pretty good O-line. It's, here in Austin, for people who may be watching from other parts of the state, Anderson this year and last year, probably on the low end, probably the smallest 6A program in the state, competing against the likes of Westlake, Lake Travis, Dripping Springs, Buda Johnson, some really, and Bowie, some really good programs.
I mean, it was ranked the hardest district in the state of Texas. It was really that competitive.
It was good high school football all around. Now let's make a correction here. Is it deep or long snapper?
I've heard it called both. I'm a long snapper guy.
Yeah,
but you could call it deep snapper, and I'll know what you're talking about. I'd say deep snapper is maybe the more old term for it. My grandpa says I'm a deep snapper, so. I don't know. I'm a long snapper guy, but you can go either way. I'll give it to you either way.
Either or. So you alluded to it. We both have something that I noticed last summer was the amount of tweeting that you did, but it was constructive and productive.
Yep.
And it's your generation has really embraced it, but I really noticed what you did, and every accomplishment, everyone you meet or met, in every competition almost after every game, you were able to get some form of production that you did. And that whole process, I mean, I know social media, it's like a part-time job, but do you feel like because of that, you did receive the opportunity that we'll talk about here shortly?
No, absolutely. I mean, Twitter was the way that I was able to push myself to coaches.
Yeah.
Any coach in the nation has Twitter. That's the one thing that they all share, all have in common. So, it started off with, just sending them a DM. Like if their DMs are open, just reach out and say, my name is Jake Williford. I'm a long snapper at a 6A Austin. I must have sent that to hundreds of coaches, just whoever I could reach. And then, anytime I'd be out at a workout or after a game, just putting out like a quick 10-second video. Can't be too long because you don't want to lose the attention, but got to be able to show what you got. Just get it out there. Let coaches see it, and coaches will reach out to you. They'll say, hey, look, I like what I saw in that video. It only takes one person to see.
Right.
It really only takes one person to see. And then, as soon as I got re-ranked, stuff like that, make sure you're updating coaches about, where you're at in the rankings, and just keeping a close relationship, honestly. My dad's a businessman.
Yeah.
And so, being able to work with him and some of my high school coaches about what I need to be sending, when I need to be sending it, it's taught me a lot about football, taught me a lot about myself, but also taught me a lot about business marketing, which is the major I'm going to be pursuing in college. So I mean, it's really a business. You got to be able to sell yourself to the coaches. So,
and clearly you did well, and it really is landing you a really good opportunity in Division I, the FCS program that you could probably tell, right? It's no secret now, but University of Incarnate Word, he has the hat, the banner, and now so people who Incarnate Word's in San Antonio, and here the last few years they have built a program that has made some runs, deep runs into the well, now I'm showing my age. It's not 1AA, it's FCS playoffs, and there are a lot of NFL guys whose roots are from FCS. A little bit about that program. I mean, it's known for its offense, and it's a smaller campus, but it's absolutely stunning and a great football program.
Oh, absolutely. We're going for our third Southland Conference championship this year. We've won it the last 2 years, so we're going for the three-peat. Last year, we got fourth place in the FCS, the entire FCS national championship. We got some really strong people that came from, other colleges. And I'll be there next year. I'm super excited. We're going to get it going.
Well, I love this. And I'm excited for you too, because I mean, I know it's not far from home, but signing day is one of those moments. It's a bonding moment, not only for you and your teammates, but for your family. I mean, that's a beautiful sight right there. I mean, it's one you'll never forget. I mean,
absolutely.
Anderson had one of the biggest signing days.
Oh yeah,
that I'm aware of.
15 athletes, I think, something like that.
Crazy number.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really cool just being able to sit up there with my family, people that I'm closest to. Zach Taylor, my long snapping coach, is also up there. Coach Z and Coach Pobbs, who have both played massive parts in my recruitment. Just sitting up there is crazy. We were talking about all that marketing. It was weird sitting up there being like, wow, like all of that finally led up to this. So.
Hey, it's a return on investment, the ROI business term. So you're not going to be alone in San Antonio, because it's kind of like the Anderson Trojan takeover in San Antonio. not far from you is Trinity University, a Division III power. I mean, how many of you guys from Anderson High School in Austin are going to be just invading San Antonio when you move in?
As far as I know from Anderson, there's 3 of us right now. It's me, Shepard Tyler, who's going to play baseball at Trinity, and Cole Canada, who's going to go play football at Trinity. So I'm super excited I get to stay with those boys. But
I got a feeling you guys may be on the Riverwalk a few times, or
we'll find a way down there a couple times.
Oh, there's no doubt, no doubt. You know, that's good times and great opportunity, and all of you, man, all those great families. But one thing I've respected about you, you've been very visible. It's very visible. You're transparent and prideful in your faith. I know you had the cross on your taping around your arm, whatnot, but I mean, that's a part of you and your family, the foundation. I mean,
absolutely.
For some of the young people and I know that even in high school, you guys take on the role as role model to other younger athletes, up and coming athletes in the system. What has that been like for you to try to be that influence?
I mean, you know, I've been, as far as I can remember, I've been super strong in my faith. You know, my dad works with people at the church. I'm an FCA guy. You know, every game before I even step up on the field, the first thing I do is go to the end zone and pray. Like God gives me strength to do everything I do. You know, during my signing day, I get the mic. First thing I got to shout out is God, because nothing would be possible without him. So, you know, for young people, stay close to your faith. I mean, football and sports is a big part of your life, but you got to have you got to have faith in God to be able to succeed in those sports, because, I mean, nothing's possible without him. So.
That is the absolute truth, man. And I have something I don't know about. I know I've never told you, but I have respected that about you.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people, you know, they have faith. They're just not overly as vocal, or, you know, they talk about it. It's okay. That's okay. Hey, there's a segment here. It's one of the sponsors, and I know a lot of people see it, but we're going to do a little, not literally, but manscaping in the man cave. You know, it's not something we talk about with our mothers or anything or other, unless, you know, but I have this saying that, you know, our significant others in our lives, or even just ourselves, no one wants to resemble the German black forest below the belt, or even nose hairs, ear hairs, whatnot. But Manscaped.com, in the most humorous way, this is one of my favorite packages right here, the Ultra Smooth package. You know, it's one that they have been marketing, and I know that that's something you're strong at, is marketing. But, you know, you got the crop exfoliator, the crop gel, and this little razor. I mean, you could fit in your back pocket. It's not really, I wouldn't advise that, put it in the back pocket. But the Lawnmower 4.0, and then there's another tool for people like me and your dad who have reached that age where all of a sudden this little area and right here, it almost looks like you're growing hairs like a Ewok. And, and it's unsightly.
Not quite there yet.
No, don't.
Not quite there yet, but.
No, I hope you never deal with that. Don't do it. Don't. You know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, what is that? Who is that? And why is that happening? So thanks to Manscaped.com, every 2 days, I'm good. So you men, young men, older men, gentlemen, grandfathers, fathers, whatnot, use that promo code MANCAVE20, 20% off. And Jake Williford, he's behind you 100% in that movement right there. Hey, the Man Cave store, we've had some humorous ones from all walks of life, all guests, former pros, college athletes, just inspiring people. Had some really great Man Cave stories. Most of them are comical, ones that when they get together with the people who were involved, they're just as amusing as they were when it happened. And Honest AC and Plumbing, where a handshake still means something, is sponsors the Man Cave story. Jake Williford, what is a good Man Cave story that you would love to share?
Man, I got to tell you about my time in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That's my. So so me and my mom took a little recruiting trip. You know, I've been all across the country for recruiting trips. I went to University of Las Vegas in Las Vegas. That was a fun one. I've been to Fort Worth, TCU, been all across Texas. But this one particular trip, I will never ever forget. I don't know if you're familiar with Gatlinburg at all.
Little bit. It's been a long time.
So me and my mom, we take a trip up there for the Coles National Scholarship Camp. It's like an invite camp. You know, it's huge for my ranking. You know, the whole way up there, I'm just thinking, I got to snap good here. And, you know, we get up there and we're driving through Tennessee, and Tennessee is beautiful. It is beautiful. But, you know, we're driving through this big, dense forest, and we come to the stoplight, and just in the middle of nowhere, there's a Empire State Building with King Kong hanging off of the edge. Just middle of nowhere. We're in Tennessee just driving around, and we see this whole thing. And me and my mom look at each other, and we're like, what the hell is going on? So we're driving through the city, which we did not do any research on. We bought, you know, a hotel room, you know, stuff like that. And we're driving through, and I kid you not, the whole city's on like a main street. There's a putt-putt place, a crazy themed restaurant, and then think putt-putt. Like, there are the weird Ripley's, believe it or not, this is the craziest town we have ever been in. And it's in the middle of Tennessee.
Right.
So me and my mom are driving through. We're like, what the hell is going on here? We're like, I have never seen, I mean, I kid you not, there must have been at least 300 putt-putt places in this whole city. It was the weirdest city of all time. Each of them had a different theme. It was like under the sea, or, you know, just something weird. So it's funny because, you know, I'm getting ready to go like compete in this national event. You know, I'm going up against the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long snappers in the nation. And I'm like trying to dial in mentally, and I'm driving through a city that I just laugh at every turn. Every turn, there's something. For any of you watching, if you go look up Gatlinburg, Tennessee, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, we're driving up there. We're going through the Smoky Mountains, a beautiful little campus that we found to go snap at. And, you know, I ended up doing pretty good. But I'll tell you what, it was hard to stay focused driving through the streets of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Almost impossible. But yeah, that's one of my favorite little stories to tell.
That's awesome. And with your mother, who I can hear.
Absolutely.
I can hear her saying, what the hell?
Absolutely.
What is going on?
No, we were just like as confused as anybody would be. It was the crazy. It's got to be. I mean, there's like a half Titanic. Like there's some weird. Like it's like a Titanic museum. Like there's some weird things down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So if you any of you watch it want to see what I'm talking about, just go look it up.
I'm definitely going to Google that.
Absolutely.
That's I know it's. What is it? Is Gatlinburg all I can think of? I know historically speaking, it was something historical with the Civil War.
It's something, yeah. It's something like that.
And then Dolly World or something like that.
Yeah, it's right next to Pigeon Forge, Pigeon Forge is like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. They're like go hand in hand in how weird they are, but you know, it was a pretty fun trip. You know, it was just crazy going from, you know, Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, UNLV, to going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and being like, okay, we got to figure ourselves out here. So,
a little tourist trap, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, I want to see there's a certain rookie Dallas Cowboy who I think you may know. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see the look on his face, a dream come true. And but before that, we got to hear a word from our guy Stevie Lee and Hargrove Roofing. More with Jake Williford on the other side of this break.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof.
So try to clear it out of my head as fast as possible and just get ready to work. Get here and gain the respect of everybody inside this building, the coaches, not only my rookie class, but the upperclassmen whenever they come back and say we get with them. But just letting it be known it's just not a good story that I'm coming here to work and to be able to play football.
Jake, you remember Deuce when he was at Cedar Ridge High School and then Kansas State?
Yes, sir. I do.
Unbelievable story.
Absolutely.
So I remember his sophomore year. I went to McLean Stadium. I was back in my media days covering it was a playoff game, state quarterfinal or something. And I remember thinking, this kid, I mean, he was making cuts, seeing holes. And I love it how, people can say like, okay, so Jake, you say, look, Jake Williford's an undersized old lineman. People were saying that about Deuce Vaughn. It's undersized. And now he's one of the Dallas Cowboys NFL draft class of 2023. And I mean, what do you remember about him? And you thought for sure that this is the level he would be playing at.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because, some of the big Austin high school area coverage, social media accounts have been posting about him. He just got drafted. So they'll go post some of his highlights and stuff like that. And, the first time seeing him, I remember being with my dad and being like, oh, this kid's from the Austin area.
Yeah.
And, he's undersized just like me for his position. So it's just kind of like it goes like I know exactly the type of stuff he feels, the type of stuff that people say about him, kind of the expectations of it and stuff like that. But yeah, I love him. I think he's awesome, and I think he's an inspiration for people.
He really is. Good family. He was on here before his senior season at K-State and the stories inside the man cave. Just a smart guy. His dad is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys. And
did you see the video of him getting to call him and saying if he wanted to come to work with him? That's so cool.
I thought that, I'm going to be honest with you, that almost got me a little bit. I was like, whoa, I tugged at the emotions a little bit. That was really special.
Absolutely.
Pretty amazing. Jake, are you by any chance a college baseball fan at all?
What?
College baseball fan?
I mean, a little bit. I keep up with UIW baseball now.
Yeah,
So I'll give you that.
So when people see this episode, it'll be on Monday. And that is March Madness, college basketball, they have selection Sunday. Well, it's college baseball selection shows every Monday after the conference tournaments. The Texas Longhorns had a great opportunity to reach 40 wins just with 2 wins in the Big 12 tournament, and they got knocked out after two games. So I depending on what time you see this is going to drop in the morning of Monday. Selection shows at 9 or 10 in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and venture to say Texas is probably not going to host a regional now. They're probably going to have to go on the road and be a number 2 seed. But you know, with their history, how many times they've been to the Super Regionals in Omaha, who knows what'll happen. But, you know, as an athlete, when you have that pressure where you could, you know, all you got to do is win probably 2 just that you think could solidify. I mean, they want to share the Big 12 championship. What I mean, for you, the pressure knowing all you got to do is probably win 1 or 2, and you don't achieve that. I mean, what's that pressure like as a young athlete?
No, I mean it's a real thing. You know, feeling pressure from, you know, everybody that's around you. You know, I felt a lot of pressure this year whenever people say, "Oh, you're going to have to go against like 5-star defensive lineman, 4-star, 3-star." And they say, you know, all you got to do is like barely hold them off or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I can go out there and dominate. I can go do my thing, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, feeling the pressure though is definitely real, and definitely effective, 100%.
Well, quick change of subject. I mean, you saw the PGA Championship. You're a golfer.
Oh yeah, I'm a golfer. I was out there today. I was out there golfing a little today.
Where'd you play?
Gray Hills. Shot a 74.
Beautiful.
Shot 74.
No.
2 over. Yeah, it was a strong round.
Jake is more than just a golfer. I mean,
you know, I'm gonna call up UIW's golf team and let them know that if they need a walk on, I'm on campus. I'm there.
Hey, and if you need anyone to endorse you, I got your back on that one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh my God! So you saw Dustin Johnson, but at the PGA Championship, he had some back problems, and he was asked about that, and this was his response. He obviously was trying to hold back in the reason why he was having some back issues, and I nearly lost it. This was absolutely hilarious.
What'd you do to your back? What is it?
I just pulled a muscle, lower back.
Swinging a club or lifting up a kid?
Yeah, lifting up a kid, just a bigger kid.
Microphone 5. I'm done.
So he's done. So he's married to the hockey legend Wayne Gretzky's daughter. So apparently there was some picking up of his wife, and he didn't want to divulge any more details. So it proves you don't have to be 50 plus to injure your back or pull a muscle doing whatever, including picking up your lady friend.
Oh my Lord. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So Jake, I got to give a shout out. This is going to, now this will, I don't know if you know, your parents probably are quite aware of the legend Tina Turner. She passed away here recently, and it's she was a legendary, the diva of rock and roll. And I don't know where it is, but I had a photo of her, and I wanted to share it, but apparently I'm not because I can't find it. Are you aware of any of Tina Turner's hits?
I'm not. Clearly, if I'm missing, clearly my parents aren't sending it my way. So after this, you can send me over some songs, and I will definitely.
I know there's Private Dancer's my favorite, just because toward the end of it, each time it hits the chorus, she goes deeper. And you just feel the emotion. It gets deeper.
I'll give it a little listen after this.
You know, not all of her songs are for me, but she was ridiculously talented, and she's one that she's one of the legends. And rest in peace to Tina Turner, man. What she really entertained several generations. Now, you're on. If you're not on TikTok, I'll be shocked. You have a TikTok account?
Man, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked. You know, well, I mean, I did for a long time. You know, I'm the oldest of 4. I got 2 little sisters who do it about 24/7. And you know what? That's where I was too. And then at some point, whenever I was like looking at my grades, I was like, you know, maybe I need to delete TikTok, spend a little bit more time doing some schoolwork. So I did it. But now that it's summer, no promises. We'll see what happens. But
a smart decision. And
absolutely,
some of the TikTok's amusing, you can waste about 30 minutes of your life if you
easy
click on the app. And some of the content is I question people. They're definitely doing it for likes.
Absolutely.
So this one is edited together, a clip of a girl on a skateboard with or a woman with a pot from her kitchen. And then the comedian, I love him. I for some reason I'm drawing blanks on his name, but this is the kind of content that may make you delete your account, never get it, or for some it may make you want to get it. This is the Tik Tokking in the Man Cave for this week.
I don't even want to live here anymore. That right there is nasty as hell. You know she gonna use that pot again to cook with. Them spaghetti gonna taste like chitlin smell.
Why?
I couldn't even tell you. That is the exact reason why I'm not on TikTok right now. So there we go. You were looking for answers. There it is.
That's
right
a great
there.
answer. What Williford said, I'm buying. That is, I saw that, and I just, truth be known, when I'm for this segment, I'm actually searching for random things like that. What can we make fun of? And I thank God I didn't spend more than 10 minutes, and I found that. This is
pretty easy.
Yeah,
if it's that easy, then maybe you shouldn't be on TikTok. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, if you didn't know, Jake is one of the most positive people, and he's perfect for this segment. This is how we end every episode right here.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Tell me something good, brought to you by our amigos at Hargrove Roofing. Jake, just a backstory. When we started this podcast, it was during the pandemic, right when it started. And then we were seeking positivity everywhere. Everyone was had no idea what was going on. So it kind of carried over. Tell me something good. Is there anything you would like to relay to people, maybe that's going on in your world that you've noticed that maybe could inspire or change a bad attitude to something positive, something to give some people something to look forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, one of the big phrases that I live by is just don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
I tore my ACL freshman year, which that's a huge injury, set me out 9 months. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm not going to get through this. Like, I'm not going to be able to play football again. I'm not going to be able to be myself again. And, then COVID, there was a lot stacked against me.
Yeah.
Starting late, people telling me I couldn't do it. Like, there's so much negativity that can affect you and that can make you think like, I can't get through this. It can be something simple, like some that you have to wake up and go do, something in your job. For people my age, it's getting this homework assignment done, passing a class.
Yeah.
In the game of sports, it's I got hurt, I got benched. Like, a lot of negative things can happen, but if you live by the motto, don't give up, just keep on working. If it's, going out and getting work on the field, or going, like, sitting down at a coffee shop and getting homework done for 3 hours, like, just don't give up. And I know I'm like a teenager saying this to, like, whoever it may be, but I mean, it's a motto that I've lived by. And I'd say that, not giving up has gotten me somewhere pretty good, and somewhere that I'm pretty proud of. So.
No, I agree.
That's something good. There you go.
Very much. I know never give up has become what of a cliche, says Jim Valvano, the late Jim Valvano, the North Carolina State basketball coach who passed away from cancer, and they still show it every year in the Jimmy V Classic. And that was one of his sayings. No, don't give up, never give up.
Yep.
But to me, hearing you say it, I mean, it gives it credence. It justifies every bit of it because you could have given up.
I could have. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there.
It's the easy thing to do sometimes.
Yeah,
just to give into it. Just to say, you know, this is too much. I can't do it. I can't. Can't is a word that should not be used. You can do anything.
100%.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I'm really proud of you, man. I really am.
Thank you.
I've watched you and your family from afar, and you guys are just good people, good family, and very inspiring. And there's another saying that I know you guys had it within your football program at Anderson High School. What is it? Find a way.
Find a way. Yes, sir.
Just find a way to get it done.
Find a way in everything that you do
in your life.
Because yes, sir. Absolutely. Exactly.
Man, that if you guys are listening to this on the audio platform or just watching it, everybody's going through something. Really, it could be daily, something happened in your life. Man, what Jake said, find a way, but don't give up. Just keep going, keep pushing.
Keep grinding it out.
Keep grinding
There's
out.
light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. Yes, brother, you hug your family for me, and I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And everybody go to UIW. You got to be a fan of the Cardinals now.
Got to be a fan of the Cardinals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, for the Jake Williford and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and the Coach Mo. We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.